For 6A, what I'm seeing here is that you've tried to do the volume using the area of the base, which is base times height divided by 2, because the base is the triangle down here at the bottom. And that's good, but we also need to then times by the height or the length of the prism itself, which I think you have included down here. So your base is your 280 that you have, times the height, which is 150. You still need to divide that by 2 and then times by your 310. So your 280 times 150, 280 times 150, that gives you this 42,000 that you have, which then you need to divide by 2 and times by your 310, which you have. That's giving me, so that's equal to that, equal to that. The 42,000 divided by 2 is 21,000. And then we're going to times that by 310. And there's where I get 6,510,000 centimeters cubed for the volume. So you're almost there. It's just you communication-wise could improve a little bit by adding in the whole part of our formula all the way through, like adding the times by height and then putting that here as well as here. So you added the times by 310 down on this line, but you really should be including it all the way through. And then you just forgot your times by 2, or divide by 2 here on the bottom. So volume, you were on the right track. Now if I look at your surface area formula, I think that's what this is up here. Your surface area, in terms of the amount of nylon, you've got really 5 surfaces in this tent. Okay, so for your surface area, you have the ends, which are triangles. Okay, so there's triangles, but there's 2 of them, so times 2. And then we have our edges on the sides here and back here, which we can't see, but they, I think, are meant to be, I think this is supposed to be an isosceles triangle. So that's meant to be 2 rectangles that are the same. So I'm going to put plus 2 rectangles. Plus, we have the bottom rectangle that you would actually sleep on inside the tent. Now, our area of our triangles, we already calculated down when we did volume. It's going to be your base times height divided by 2, but then you're going to times by 2. So base times height divided by 2, but times by 2, plus, now here's where you need to use the Pythagorean theorem, and I think that's what you're doing up in this section. However, our right angle triangle looks like this, and we know that the height, I'm trying to write that in here and it's not coming in there, 150, that's the height. So I'm going to switch down to the bottom triangle here. I'm really looking at this right angle triangle that I'm highlighting here. Okay, so we've got the 150. This part here is half of the 280. So that's going to be 140 right here. And what we want to solve for is this edge along here. Okay, so in the diagram down here, it's this edge. Now that edge is across from the 90 degrees. That's the hypotenuse. This is the thing we're trying to solve for. So when you did that, you've used the right formula down here with the b squared. C squared equals 150, but this 280 really should be 140 here, 140 squared there. Okay, and then when you do that work and get your actual value for C, your C, I did calculate that earlier, is going to be 205.2. Okay, so when you make that correction, you're going to get 205.2 there. That is what you're going to have for your length times width on that rectangle, the 205.2 approximately, times the 310. That's the length of that rectangle. And unfortunately, I've run out of room here, so I'm going to put times the 310. And then we have times 2, because there's the 2 sides, the side we can see and the side in behind. And I'm making a mess of this. I'm sorry. Oh dear. Okay, so 310 times the 2, and then on top of that, the bottom rectangle is simply length times width, 280 centimeters by 310. Okay, and then if you calculate all of that, your triangle part let me just put another line in here. Your base times height, divide by 2, that's the 280 times 150, divide by 2, times 2 for front and back, and then plus your 205.2 times your 310, and then plus your 280 times 310. Okay, and that all together, when you multiply things out and add them up, you should get 256,024 centimeters squared because it's area. Hope that helps you.